What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. So yesterday, I received a story on WhatsApp from my good buddy Prentice, and it revolved around this particular story that's happening in Kinley, North Carolina. Now, Kinley, North Carolina is a fairly small town, no more than 3,000 people. But what's going on right now in Kinley, North Carolina is spreading all over the United States like wildfire. And that is because Police Chief Josh Gibson announced in a Facebook post on Thursday that he is resigning. Not only him, but the assistant town manager, a key clerk, and 5 of his officers are resigning in protest. Now, why is this? Is it for salaries not being paid? No. Well, it is because of the hire of the new town manager, Justine Jones. Now, Justine Jones obviously is African American, and she has been there for about a month. So people are saying, well, they are quitting because obviously she's black. And so because she's black, we don't want her working there. And that could be the case, but I don't know if that is the case because Kinley, North Carolina does appear to have an active African-American population. So that seems to be the case. And it seems like the blacks and whites live there in some sort of harmony, because there's only like 47% white and it's like 34% black. So that may necessarily not be the case. But what is the case is that there's been some discrepancies between the staff and the town manager. And according to the police chief, he says that Justine Jones has created an environment in which they cannot perform their duties and services to the community. Now, before I kind of get into it, I want to play a few news clips about what's going on and how the white residents are handling it and how the black residents are handling it, to kind of get a better feel for what's going on there in the community.
The entire police department in one town, every officer and the chief resigned today. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Angela Taylor.
And I'm Rod Carter. This happened in the small town of Kinley, which is in Johnston County. CBS 17's Gilad Malamed is live there tonight with this story. Gilad.
Pretty soon, this town won't have a police department unless something changes. Police Chief Josh Gibson tells me he and the department's 4 full-time officers gave in their 2 weeks notice today. Gibson says he quit because the environment the new town manager who started in June created. He says the other officers quit for the same reasons. We asked Gibson to specify what that means, but he said he wouldn't say because attorneys are involved. He says the town clerk and the town utility clerk also resigned. The people he spoke to like the job Gibson was doing as chief and says they're shocked and concerned by what's happening.
He's done a good job for our town. I'm a retired teacher from the area. I remember seeing him in the schools and just a little bit of shock.
And I was like, what in the world, man? I mean, we can't have a lawless town. There's no way on God's green earth we can have a lawless town. So I hope we can find a resolution.
We wanted to know what happens with public safety here in 2 weeks. A spokesperson for the Johnston County Sheriff's Office says there's no specific plans for increased patrol in the area, but they will be here for anyone in Kinley who needs them. We asked the Wilson County Sheriff's Office as well and are waiting to hear back. We also reached out to the town of Kinley for comment about this and are waiting to hear back from them. Live in Kinley, Gilad Malamed, CBS 17 News.
All right, very interesting stuff. All right, Gilad, thank you.
No action was taken tonight for a Johnson County town that's in danger of losing its entire police force. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Angela Taylor. The council and town manager held an emergency meeting just days after Kinley's police chief and 4 officers turned in their 2 weeks notice. This is getting national attention. CBS 17's Nick Sturdivant is live in Kinley for us tonight. And Nick, tell us what happened in that meeting.
Well, Angela, that decision happening after town council met for more than an hour. Meanwhile, behind me, dozens of community members gathered to voice their opinions.
Kinley may be a small town, But Friday, they let it be known that their concerns are big.
We just want to support the town manager who has been doing a good job. And you just want to make sure the process is fair, whatever's done.
But listen, we have a great police department. Okay, she is not for our police department.
This all comes after the town's police chief, Josh Gibson, said he and his department's 4 full-time officers, along with the town's utilities clerk and assistant manager, turned in their 2 weeks' notice because of the environment he says the new town manager has created. The town manager, Justine Jones, started last month. Before Friday night's emergency meeting between the council and town manager, concerned neighbors held a town hall with Mayor Tui Hales to discuss what's been going on. Longtime resident Josiah Jackson was there.
This is a shock. You know, when a small town like this, and all of a sudden, the people that you've known for all these years, and that says, I'm out of here.
Minutes later, people packed the council chambers before the closed session. More than an hour later, town council deciding not to take any action Friday night.
So we are where we were. The town still has a patrol. We still have police coverage.
And that was the mayor that you just heard from. He says another emergency meeting will happen sometime next week. Now, we did reach out to the town manager earlier this week. She could not comment, but referred us to the town attorney. Live here in Kinley tonight, Nick Soderman, CBS 17 News.
Yeah, a bit of a mess there. All right, Nick, thank you.
So guys, you've heard what's happened, and many of the residents in the town, it seems like, you know, some of the African American residents believe that she is a good town manager. I don't know how they would know that if she's only been there for a month, but basically this new manager obviously is trying to clean things up, and I don't know why she feels that way, but obviously under her new management, these people believe that it is a hostile work environment. So now everybody has quit. This is probably to make the town manager look bad, so that she could get fired, and then they can get somebody else in there, and then that can happen. But I kind of want to talk about this with race. Is this motivated by race? It could, but what you are seeing is that the police officers, and I don't know all of them that are there, but it appears that they're willing to walk away. They're going to stick together on this. See, that is why, in my honest opinion, it is so difficult for blacks to compete against many times Caucasians in America, because when push comes to shove, this is the kind of camaraderie that they have. We used to have this sort of camaraderie in the civil rights movement and in other places in America, but we very rarely see that today. So whenever white people, for the most part, feel like something is wrong, they'll come together, even if they don't like each other, and they'll say, listen, either she goes or we all go. And if you want to choose her over us, it's fine. You won't even have a police department. So they don't. And they understand that in a small town like this, it'd be very difficult to train a new staff. It will be very difficult to do those things. And they're pretty much going to shut the whole police department down because of her. And she will look bad. I don't know what she did. I don't know if it's wrong or right. I don't know if they just don't want to change. But you do see what's going on here. And these guys are not fucking around. This is the kind of dedication that it takes to get things done. Sometimes people have to suffer in order to get the situation going on, but it looks like this is a power play. And again, I don't know the situation going on as far as what the young lady has done or apparently has done. I'm not sure. It could be a race issue. The one thing that I do know is that these guys want her gone, and this is what they're trying to do. So guys, what do you think though? That's the most important thing. I'm kind of undecided. Let me know in the comment section. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.